Now, if you're a pizza lover, if you're a fast food lover, if you're a food lover in general, you're going to love today's show. Because with us today in studio is a guy called Kelvin Gitonga. This guy understands food.
Kabisa.
He understands how food businesses need to be run. He also understands the importance of working hard in school and following your passion.
Yeah.
And he's currently the operations manager at Big Square. Kelvin, karibu sana to Pal in the morning.
Asante sana.
It's good to have you. Kelvin, why did your journey with food start? Ulianza lini kupanda like, hey, my guy, I really like this food industry?
I think I was young. I think at that time was when I was with my parents. So that was, I think, when I was in primary school. So of course I used to watch how the house help cook. So that I would actually help her cook sometimes, and that's why. That's when I started loving food. Actually, what I used to love cooking at that time when I was young was ile mchelenjeri.
Beg your pardon?
Mchelenjeri unaitwa.
Huyu hajui mchelenjeri nini? Umempotea njeri. Umempoteza.
I've heard of it, but maybe take me through. What is mchelenjeri?
Nikaa tu mchele ile. Mchele tu iko na waru, carrots, vitunguu, hizo tu. Hivyo tu.
What?
Na kuna mchele maimuna pia. Mchele maimuna ni
what's that biryani?
Ni pilao.
Kwenda. It's mchele maimuna. Ati mchele njeri has potatoes, carrots, has peas.
Unachanganya kila ukitaka kuchanganya tambosho, you can put everything in there.
Ati sikia.
Jaribu siku moja uone.
Never.
Na tumbo.
Completely. So you are cooking, you're helping her cook that such nini?
Yeah, that's what I just learned, because you know those days ukibaki kwa hao peke yako, you have to look for the easiest thing to cook. So that was the easiest thing for me at that particular point.
There are no eggs?
I didn't love the eggs at that time, but I think learning how to cook this mchelenjeri ilikuwa too simple, because you mix everything, unacha inachemka, unamaliza, unaishia.
Okay.
Jerry. Only Jerry.
Shout out to all the Njeris who are tuning in this morning. And then where did that take you from there?
So in 2013 I graduated from Brookhouse. Then so now after high school I was supposed now to take a gap year, but instead of taking a gap year, niliamua kwenda Big Square to look for something to do. So I went and started off as an intern. So niliingia to Big Square, just looking for something to do to pass time. Not even really for the cash, but ile kupata to experience, because sometimes nowadays if you realize ukienda unaambiwa you have to have experience.
Yeah.
So nilienda tu nikapatiwa just the casual kuosha vyombo, kuserve customers, just cooking the kitchen.
Were you a waiter?
Yeah, also a waiter at that particular point.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Which branch were you in?
Karen, at that particular time we had the Karen branch.
Where was the Karen branch?
Karen Square.
Karen Square, okay, good.
Yes. So after that, so I just used to go every single day to do my internship. So kuosha vyombo, kuserve customers.
What hours are we talking about?
It was mostly from morning to evening, to about from 6 to about 7 o'clock sometimes. Because mine was mostly an internship. It wasn't really...
Wait, 6 a.m.
Yes.
to 7 p.m.?
Yes, because for me, I just wanted to learn.
Learn what?
Learn the whole industry as a whole.
They're going to experience.
Yeah.
So, and you're in the kitchen, you're washing dishes. Are you cooking at this time?
Yes, you have.
You have to cook?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Because you get to learn all aspects of the business, because if you are really interested or passionate about something, you'd want to know everything that that organization does. So that's what I used to do on a day-to-day basis. So I got to December, so I was supposed to leave then, because now my internship period was over, so that now I can enjoy Christmas, because that was in October of 2013. So come December when I was supposed to leave, director kaniambia kuna mahali unaenda.
And then, so you went to Brookhouse.
Yeah.
Was that for your A-levels?
Yeah, for my A-levels, yes. Yes.
For your A-levels?
Yes.
And then what happened after that?
So I did my internship after that. That was in 2013 October. That's when I graduated in August or July. Then started my internship at Big Square in October of 2013. So did my internship in October, November. Then of course sasa juu nimetoka high school sana nataka kuenjoy Christmas kidogo. So I said that I want to leave, but director akaniambia fanya hivi juu hakuna haja ya Christmas, wewe endelea kufanya what you are doing. So come January, I went to school, deferred my entry now to May. So I continued now with my internship at Big Square now in 2014. So did that till April, then kifika hiyo time ya kwenda chuo around May, nikamwambia sacha niishie, akakataa. My mama akasema wewe itabidi kwanza juu umenja pesa enda shule kwanza.
Bado ukionja do bana inakuanga hard kurudi chuo
na ni jasho yako.
So I just took a break kidogo. We went to school in 2014 around May, but USIU has this program that you can actually choose your classes. So I chose my classes and I realized that I had a lot of time in my hands. So since 2014-2017 I used to now go to school and still work at the same time.
What were you still working at Big Square?
Yes.
What were you doing?
So now that period now I now became a shift supervisor. So I used to manage shifts as well. So doing the staff timetables, organizing for stock and all those things. So that's what I used to do at that particular point. At the same time I used to mix also the spices for Big Square. So what you guys actually have. So I used to be part of the team that actually mixes the spices, which is our secret recipe. It's actually a homemade recipe. So which is something that we don't share. So
but you know the recipe.
Yes, I do.
So tukikubali tukufinya tuseme hii jamaa hii recipe ni gani?
Finye vizuri.
Kupatia unajua kuna it's in 3 parts. So hata ukinipata lazima utapata wao wengine wawili. So kama wezi wapata then
treasure.
So you are a spice mixer.
Yes.
And shift supervisor.
Yes, at the same time. So I also used to work in the production area because we have a commissary as well. So
you have a what now?
Commissary, which is pretty much the central kitchen where we do all the production. So that's why if you go to Bellevue, if you go to Wilson, if you go to Moi, if you go to whichever branch, the product is exactly the same. You will taste the same product whether you go to whichever branch. So hata kula hizi pizza umekula hapa na uende kwa branch, because I took this ones from Adlife, uende hata Mombasa in Nyali Cinemax, you'll still get the same product there.
So how do you deliver things to Mombasa? Do you have another kitchen in Mombasa?
We have a refrigerated trucks that actually go that direction.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So we also have a branch in Eldoret which also use the same truck as well.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, so you're doing mixes now. You're doing shifting.
Yes.
You're not a waiter anymore.
No, I was not a waiter anymore.
Okay, let's do your career progression. So when you start by washing dishes.
Yes.
You're there at 6 a.m.
Yes. Depending on the shift, either you're coming in the morning or you're coming in the evening.
So what does your evening shift look like? What time?
From about 1:30 to 10:30. Some branches extend until midnight.
And initially, the first job is you're washing dishes.
Yes.
Is there like a skill set you need to wash dishes?
There's no skill set. See, as long as you make sure that the dishes are clean, and I think majority of us tumepitia hiyo. If you're a bachelor or bachelorette, umejioshea vyombo mwenyewe, so lazima.
Hopefully, watu kama hopes.
Do you? Wewe unachanga vyombo
every day?
You sure?
Every day.
Na machine. Thank you. You sold them.
The dishes are washed. That's the important thing. I don't wash the machine. Go away. So you're washing dishes.
Yes.
You do it for a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months.
Yes, for a couple of months actually.
Couple of months.
Yes.
And so every day, are you telling your parents? Are you telling your peers that what I do is wash dishes?
Yes, because at the end of the day, you'll be judged because you may think that since I came from a background where went to Brookhouse, that someone doesn't expect me to do that.
Yeah.
But you see, I think each person individually, you know what you want in life, you know what you want to achieve. So I think starting from that point helps you appreciate this, appreciate the journey, and even appreciate the other people's jobs.
Yep.
So even currently, if you're a general assistant, if you're a waiter, I know what you do. I know what
because you've gone through it.
Because I've gone through it.
Yep.
So I'll appreciate you. I will not stuck with the route to just say you're a waiter when you're a cleaner, because at the end of the day, we all one family. And even when the cleaners are overwhelmed, the waiters are overwhelmed, I sometimes even step in, even currently as well.
Yeah.
You also step in, help out in the kitchen, help out in the service area, because it doesn't demean you as a person. It just shows you teamwork.
What's your KPI when you're washing dishes? Is it how many dishes you wash? Is it how clean they are? What's
it's just how in terms of how clean they are. So the detail.
So attention to detail.
Yes, because see, as a customer, if you go in as a customer and find a fork has ikona kakitu hapo na imetoka kuosha, you see, even your just because of that fork, it ruins your entire experience. So you have to make sure that every single dish that you're actually washing is very clean.
Okay.
Because even as a customer ukiingia lazima the first thing that you eat with your eyes.
Yeah.
So ukifika uangalie on a plate.
Nakula wacho.
When a plate na hivi kwanza utashuku kidogo. But you see, if it's clean, then of course the person is doing the right
okay, we do move from washing dishes. What do you go to next?
So I did now that was of course when I'm washing dishes, you're also still learning how to cook. So that's grilling ribs, cooking chicken, cooking chips. At that time in Karen, we used to produce our own things. So
give me a tip for cooking chips or cooking something that maybe you're allowed to reveal. Do I need to like deep fry them twice?
Yes, that's the secret actually, because you have to blanch them. If you don't blanch your chips, then you won't get the crispy nature that you want. So normally you deep fry them for about 2-3 minutes at about 140 degrees. Then you let them cool about 10-20 minutes. Then now you deep fry them again in about 180.
Umesikia?
Yeah.
Brother.
Hey.
Brother.
Deep fry branch. Mimi na hatu mafuta story inaisha.
Yes.
So you're still learning kitchen stuff as well?
Yes.
You're doing a bit of grilling as well?
Yes.
And then how long are you doing that?
I think the whole period, even as much as I was even a shift leader at the same time, you still do those jobs at the same time, because you get to learn, you get to understand what these guys are doing, so that in case mtu akose kuja shift you happen.
At what point do you become a waiter?
No, it's currently, you see, if you have the experience, you'll do it. But that time when we were starting off, we used to, it was more or less like the career path, where you start off as a cleaner or something, then, or if you have experience, you can now start off as a waiter. So it also depends on your experience also. If you are experienced in that industry, then there's no point for me to start you off as a cleaner.
So like for you who had no experience, started off as a cleaner,
Yes.
cleaning the dishes, and then a bit of kitchen work,
Yes.
and then moved on to becoming a waiter.
Yes.
How long were you a waiter?
I think for a few months, I think about 3 or 4 months, roughly.
All right.
Yeah.
I want to hear about this waiting journey. What are some of the experiences you had as a waiter?
I think being a waiter is one of the toughest jobs that people actually have to face. I think even me being a customer as well in other places, I think we need to appreciate how the amount of work that the waiters actually go through, because you can imagine this guy has to stand up for about 8 to 9 hours without about an hour break, which is about 15 minutes tea break in the morning and then 45 minutes for lunch. So having to run around that entire floor, because a good waiter can at least manage between 4 to 5 tables. So you can imagine this guy has to keep running up and down, just serving you, taking your order. Sometimes you utasema sijisikii na hiyo, I need to change my order, ama you wanted room temperature water but au kusema ama kukuuliza, then akimbia tena arudi.
That is me.
Sparkling.
I want some sparkling water.
Yes, so I think as a waiter you need to have the basics. So kama mtu ametisha maji, lazima useme umuulize kama nataka room temperature or cold, or kama nataka sparkling or still. So those are some of the questions that you need to actually ask. And if you want, for example, your pork ribs, do you want it with barbecue sauce, or you want it with chili barbecue, or you want it with another sauce, or you don't want any sauce at all. So these are the key aspects that many waiters need to actually emulate, because sometimes unaweza sema umepeana order but this guy doesn't even have his notebook. So kirudi unamebaradin order for this. But ukimuuliza malilo alikuwa ameandika, hakuna notebook alikuwa nayo. Sasa ifika pale kwa system kwenda kupost order, ile inaapia kwa mind, maybe ulikuwa ndaka pork ribs na onion rings. But sasa amekuletea na chipo.
Exactly.
Because
what happened in that situation?
It's not such a good experience, because now you have to now try and convince the customer that hizo chipo utaleta your onion rings in a very short time, ama because now pia kudili na watu wa kitchen kwangi rahisi.
Swali yangu ni who pays?
No, so what happens? So
you deduct the money from the waiter? Like that's the thing where sometimes takangi kuzusha juna feel mazi wata mkata do.
Ina depend. Kama ilikuwa unajua, kama alikuwa ameandika na wewe mwenyewe alikuwa ameandika vizuri sana single rack na onion rings, then ukasema no, I wanted chips, but kwa kitabu yake ameandika hiyo ni onion rings. So you see hapa hakuna ubishi juu, uko na traceability, and if there's a traceability of an item, then there's no point, hakuna haja ni kucharge. At the end of the day, ni customer change their mind, and the customer is allowed to change their mind, because the policy that we have to work with the customer is always right. But it's always we also have to justify, we also have to be a bit reasonable as well. Because if I'm talking to a customer and namwambia this is exactly what you order, so you also have to, me as a waiter or a manager, if kama imenipita lazima nite manager, this is exactly the situation that we're going on, because you'll get different experiences with different customers, so you just have to look for the best way to handle it, so that at least the customer also leaves happy.
Did you ever make any mistakes when you were a waiter?
Lazima hii kosa kuandika vitu, unajua vitu zingine inakwambia mtu wa kitchen, customer alikuwa anataka ikiwa na mchele na ulimwandikia chipo, mtakorofishana. Sasa inakunga and also I think working in the kitchen also is a bit fun as well, because kuna hiyo ubishi kidogo, but it's always fun. At the end of the day ni kazi. Just especially during busy periods, you can really get overwhelmed. Even as a waiter, unaweza sawa hata kupost order kasa wamekituko for about 15 minutes.
Can you imagine?
30 minutes. Na bado so ukimwangalia tena unakumbuka haya kuna order sikuwa nimepost. By the time jaribu kuenda kupost order ashaanza kuzusha. So I think these are things that ukiandika order, enda kwa system, post order, then I think those little nitty-gritties that is what makes you a good waiter. Having a notebook, having a pen, having your opener, being neat, having your name tag, introduce yourself, be courteous. Even though a customer amekujamisha, don't react back. Just always remain calm.
And I think there's some waiters and waitresses who really stand out for that game, eh?
Yes, they do.
There's a particular restaurant I go to once in a while, eh? There's one girl called Samantha. You know, almost when I go there and she's not there, I almost feel like I'm an Indian nirudi siku ingine. And that's shift yake na sangapi.
Yes.
Her customer service is excellent.
Yes.
And then I think she gets my orders right. If you know me, Hobbs. You know I'm very particular on, I want this done this way and everything. I want the steak medium to well done. I feel like she gets it right. There's some people who you talk to, and I'm not seeing them writing, and I'm just like, you're going to mess it up.
Exactly.
I know you're going to mess it up.
Yeah.
And you'll come and say something like, oh, so I got you a cheeseburger. And I'm like, I told you I don't take cheese. The first thing I told you is no cheese anywhere, you know? So I think also being a waiter can also, you meet some most amazing people.
Yes.
And you get tips.
Tips upata.
Eh.
I think when I was a waiter, the highest tip I ever got in a day was actually 3,000.
Hey. Like cumulatively or from one person?
For one person had given me 1,000, so the rest was now.
Oh really?
Yes.
So upata tip ya kama how much? Unajua nijue kama na overtip ama na undertip.
You're in the wrong career.
I think in different countries they have a policy. I think you
Yep.
tip whether you've had a bad experience or not.
Or
but
not.
Us as Kenyans we tip based on our experience. Utapata kuna mtu atakutip na zile coins zimebaki achukue notes zake abakishe coins. There are others who, depending on your service, they'll actually tip you so that for each and every customer you must offer the best service. There's no story of ule nakata ni tip vizuri, ule nakata hata ni tip. You treat all customers the same because you'll get situations where you think someone who can't tip you actually tips you the best.
Yeah.
Because you just have to offer the service that you need to offer. Kama mimi ni prezo, ama mimi ni MD, ama mimi ni cleaner. Same service to each and every individual. So that's what should always be there.
Hobbs, what's your tipping policy?
Me? I tip.
How much? Do you do a percentage or do you do an amount?
Tip. Me, tip. Minimum is a tip mbaya. But one thing about me, I don't tip on change.
What do you mean?
Like change nimepon.
So if the meal is maybe 950 shillings and you give out a G, and you get 50 bob back, you don't use that as a tip?
No.
Okay.
I tip from my wallet.
Okay, what difference does it make?
like I'll take if I have 200 shillings, I'll give it to you.
You give her 200 shillings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Na kama una tu so uko na thao kwa mfuko yake utafanyaje?
Too bad. It's because of one thing. For me, I see tip haifai kwa kama change. It's a form of gratitude. Unaona? And when you're giving somebody gratitude, you're not giving them out of pity. You're just appreciating their work.
Yeah.
Do it in the best way possible. Because you know me very well. Me, I've been a waiter also.
He actually has been a waiter.
At some point in my life.
Good. Yeah.
And somebody tipped me how much?
I don't know. Is it me who tipped you?
I told you how much last week.
I can't recall. My apologies.
Too bad.
How much was it?
I won't tell you.
Tell him.
But at the end of the day, I got tips from 100 shillings to 1,000 to 1,500. It's because of one thing. For me, I used to serve you with all of my heart. And I make sure umetoka hapo. You will call my name again.
The guy who worked once as a waiter and will not tell us how much was being paid as a tip. I don't understand why.
Ni yangu sio yako.
And the guy who actually worked well as a waiter at Big Square for a couple of months and then moved on from there and went on to where, Kelvin?
So when I went back to, so I joined uni in May of 2014. And that's where I realized I have a lot of time on my hands. So I used to work part-time, so as a shift leader at the current branch. So that would be from about May 2014, and then sometimes it would be the shift leading and plus mixing of spices. So like I was telling you off air, I don't think I had a job title because I would do anything. So Mara was in the commissary, Mara was in the branches. I was also worked as a company driver as well. When the driver was on leave and there was no one else, so I've actually now done deliveries with our transport refrigerated van. So I think that's the one thing that stood out because I didn't really mind doing all those jobs. You know, you have a job description that you're supposed to do, but I didn't follow what was written. I did everything that I was asked to do, and I think that's when you're told.
Great attitude.
Yeah, so I think for many young people, I think once even though you're told you're a waiter, then you can also do more than just being a waiter. Then So that was from now 2014 2017. That's now I was doing now all the three jobs. Then I think sometime before I graduated, I now moved to assistant operations manager. So now this was now overlooking the branches that were currently there by that time. So I think there was Adlife, Karen, Gigiri at the time, the branch at Oval, Garden City, Wilson and Bellevue.
So about 7-8 branches at the time.
Yes, at that particular time around 2017.
And I also must say, you didn't just graduate. You graduated with a magna cum laude.
Yes, I did.
Very
Magna
well done.
what?
Cum laude.
Magnet. Magnet.
Yeah, so I think that's it.
You did very well in school, sir.
Yeah, it's the second highest.
Yeah.
So thank you for that, by the way.
Yeah, you did very well.
Yeah, so I think for me, I thank God for that, because having to work part time and then be at school,
Yeah,
something that
that
you have
balance,
to juggle,
man.
and having to graduate with that high GPA was actually quite an achievement for me, because I was actually happy about it, because I think when you sometimes since you have to go to work, you don't have really enough time to study. So I think me attending classes and then sometimes pulling all-nighters just to be able to do an exam and all that was what helped me. And also even the support by the directors then, that was Monet Dietlefs and Loshni Dietlefs are the ones who got me to where I am today, actually.
So you're an assistant operations manager at the time you're graduating?
Yes.
Okay. Which is how long ago?
I graduated in 2017.
2017.
Yes.
Okay, and you stay in that role for a couple of years, months?
That was just a couple of months. So actually about a year. So that was 2017, 2018. No, actually 2017, the remaining part of 2017. Then we went on an expansion plan from about 2018 February. So I now moved to project support manager. But actually before then, we got an external operations manager who now at the time now when we were opening our Bellevue branch, which was on Mombasa Road, we didn't have a manager. You know how you're trying to recruit people, but the branch is ready, but you don't have the people. Yeah. So I actually told the director then, I just told him, let me step down as assistant operations manager and I'll run the shop for you. So I actually stepped down from operations and now became a shop manager. So just to be able now to help as during that period to be able to have someone to look over the branch. So I stepped down as a branch manager, did that for 2017 till about January 2018. Then 2018 February, which is actually my birthday month, got promoted to project support manager. So that now involves looking after branches that are being opened. So that because at that point now we opened Moi Avenue, 680 to Rivers, Mombasa as well. So we opened about 4 branches in about 1.5 years. So my job was mainly just looking after
the new ones that are coming up and
so
making sure
managing
the
contractor nakwambia nitamaliza kesho inafika hayuko. So that was pretty much the job that I used to do now as a project support manager. So of course creating new LPOs, looking for contractors, managing these contractors who won't be away. By the way, deadline to open this branch is the next 2 weeks. Please make sure you finish the jobs. But I think being in Kenya, unajua contractor atakwambia sawa ina shida.
They say one thing and what they do is totally different.
Yes.
You know, I mean, what I'm hearing underneath you is apart from maybe IT and audit and accounts, I don't think there's a job you've not done.
In the hospitality industry, I don't think so.
I don't think there's something you've not done.
Maybe kuwa tu MD peke yake.
Maybe kuwa MD, maybe that's the next stop, you don't know. But back in the next hour, I want us to bring this show. I want to talk about the lessons you've learned along the way. And also for the guys who are tuning in this morning and they just got an entry-level job. I know someone in particular who's been given a job as a PA. And I mean, she was told, and she said, so I have to answer calls. And I have a degree from university. And that's what I have to do. I will definitely not do it. And she turned down the job.
Over PA?
Yep.
Wow.
She turned it down. Because she thought she should have the PA. Not her being the PA. What do you tell people like those who will not take any job that comes their way and they're looking for a certain job and a certain job only?
My advice to them would be start from somewhere, because it may look little for now, but based on your commitment, based on your consistency, based on your loyalty, based on the one thing that I actually insist on is integrity. And that's what has gotten to me where I am today. Having integrity is the only thing that can get you from nothing to something, because when you're doing something without people looking, then you make sure that you're doing the right thing. because it doesn't matter who looks at you, but they must see a true reflection of who you really are. That when someone asks you, how is Kelvin, is a man of integrity, is a man of who's always honest. So that's something that I think guys need to work with in terms of being consistent, having integrity, and be honest. Because without integrity, then all these other things, being consistent, being on time, being hardworking, don't really matter. Because can someone really rely on you? Can someone trust you that if I leave you with this position, then you can actually execute the job, or you can actually execute the task? Because like for her, if she's turning her job down because of being a PA is just a starting point.
Yep.
Because she's going to get to know more than just being a PA. What else does that company do that she's a PA for? So if whatever industry it is, she'll get to know exactly how it actually works. Then maybe she'll actually now move from being a PA to part of the team that actually handles most of those things because of her dedication, because of her consistency, because of her integrity and honesty. But by turning it down, you can't. I think many guys even out here, and I think you've seen when there was a mass recruitment. I think was it the KDF or G4S or something?
Yep.
And very many people turned up.
So many people,
and these are guys with
thousands of people.
masters. These are guys with master's degrees. Others have PhDs. But if you've got an opportunity to be somewhere, start from there and build yourself up.
There's something said which reminds me about a quote by Warren Buffett. He said, "Look for 3 things in a person: intelligence, energy, and integrity. If they don't have the last one, don't even bother the first 2."
Yes,
integrity really is everything.
Yeah, integrity is actually is what stands out amongst everything else. Whether I don't think it actually in any industry, be it here where you are currently are, be it in hospitality, be it in the airport or wherever you are, it doesn't really matter. At a construction site, integrity still stands out because you've been entrusted to build a house the right way, so you must build it the right way.
Everything you must do the right way. BDJ Hobbs, any questions before we close it today?
For me, the pizza is amazing. The pizza is amazing.
He's been really in a trance the whole day since the pizza's coming.
On that note, actually, we're running an offer this week. Actually, only for this week. We're doing our pizzas come in 2s. So we're doing 2 large pizzas at the price of the medium. So if you're paying for a medium, you still get a large. So that's the offer they're running this week.
Okay, let's end it by this one. You're a pizza connoisseur, I'd like to believe. How do you make a good pizza?
It first of all starts with the sauce. The sauce has to be good and the dough has to be good. That's actually the 2 main things that you must have. If the dough is not good, then the pizza won't be good.
If you're making it from home, how do you make it from scratch?
Of course, you have to have flour, you have to have sugar, yeast, salt, and oil. So that's pretty much for the
basic
dough.
For the dough?
For the dough. Then, of course, for the sauce, you can either buy the one from the supermarket or you can actually make yours at home.
Once you need the dough, do you need it to let it rest for a while?
Yes, you need to let it puff first. Then now you measure it into how many pizzas you want. If you want thin crust or if you want a thick crust. So it also depends on your liking, because other people will actually love the Italian way of pizza, which is very thin crust.
Very thin one.
Yes.
What are good toppings to put on a pizza? What are bespoke toppings for you?
For me, chicken and beef. I think
like a merger of chicken and beef.
Yeah, you can.
It's not chicken or beef. It's
you can
chicken and
merge
beef.
both.
You can merge both.
Yeah.
Man say, you'd be confusing my man. Kuku inside ngombe. Nakula gani na?
Lakini lazima kuwe na a very good cheese as well.
You must
Cheese
have very
that
good
actually
cheese.
melts, so that when you lift it, if you lift the slice of pizza, you can actually see it stretch.
The strings and
Yes.
everything, that makes it look so good. And of course, the taste is amazing. It's heavenly.
Yes.
Kelvin, what are your final thoughts on our parting shot for us as you leave us this morning?
I think just to thank you for the opportunity to be here, and just to encourage young people to start from somewhere. It's never an easy journey, but by building yourself up, by believing in yourself, and actually just knowing what you want in life is something that you actually have to have. And if you want to be at the top of the ladder, then what is it going to take? Does it take for you to just finish your degree and be an MD, which is not going to happen? And if you want to start to become your own, start your own business, of course you need capital.
Yeah.
But I think for me, it's get the experience. It doesn't. You see, even though you're a cleaner, you can get to learn what a griller does. Even though you're a griller, you can get to learn what someone else as a waiter does.
Yep.
So of course, if you learn different aspects of businesses, different aspects of what actually everyone in in the organization does, then it gives you it puts you better in terms of when someone is looking for someone to rely on. So for me, to all the young people, start from somewhere. It doesn't matter how much it's gonna pay. Yes, I know it's gonna be little for you to start with, but start from somewhere, and at least you'll end up somewhere else.
Start from somewhere. His name is Kelvin Gitonga. He's currently the operations manager at Big Square. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you very much.
Start from somewhere, man. A famous philosopher said, started from the bottom. Now we're here.
We are Pearl Radio.